Hello everyone, and thanks for watching. We wanted to give you an update as to where we are with the building project. But first, just a short thought from the Bible. And you may remember back in the beginning of December, there was a prayer meeting in Brockle High for the building project. And I opened up that prayer meeting and we looked at the book of Nehemiah, a book about doing great things for God. We looked at the phases of godly projects. We saw how Nehemiah in chapter 1 went through the vision phase. We saw in chapter 2 he went through the planning phase. And we saw in chapter 3 the commencement phase where everything was so exciting. And that's where we were back at the beginning of December. Excitement as we saw things taking shape, as we saw things coming together. But now, brothers and sisters, we are now in that difficult phase and facing very similar issues to those Nehemiah did. Let's have a look at Nehemiah chapter 4 and we see his difficulties. First, there was danger, evil opposition from those who did not want God's people to thrive and who were ready to attack and kill the workers. Then there was discouragement. And in verse 10 we read that the strength of the labourers is giving out and there is so much rubble we cannot rebuild the wall. Finally, there was distraction. And in chapter 5 and verse 3 we read there was a famine. People were worried about making ends meet. They had mortgaged their houses and vineyards. They'd gone into debt. What was God doing, bringing a famine at this critical time for his people? We too are facing danger. The enemy really does not want us to revive or to thrive or even survive. We too are facing discouragement. The mortgage that we had hoped would be in place is not. The mortgage company stewardship were not in a position to offer a loan in the current situation without significant extra restrictions, and we felt we were being led by God away from this. And we too are faced with distraction. COVID-19 has changed all of our circumstances, personal, financial, employment, and none of us knows where this will end. So, without the mortgage in place, we do not have sufficient funds to complete the project. Total project cost is £1.2 million, and we're looking to complete phases A and B of that project, which is just under £1 million. Funds raised so far total £809,000, bearing in mind that not all of that money is in the bank. Some of that is promises yet to come, some of that is government gift aid yet to come, which, if all comes through, will give us a gap of £188,000 to complete the project. We do also have an ongoing committed giving of £2,700 per month from church members, and we've got a one grant application for Garfield and Western, which is going to be considered at the end of this month. Progress with the work has been excellent, and at this moment builders are still on site and will remain so until the government says that they are unable to do so, or until the materials that they are sourcing are not able to be sourced, or until we are unable to fund the work. And currently we will run out of funds during May time and the work will have to stop. So what do we do? Let's remember that verse from 2 Chronicles 20 verse 10. We are powerless. We do not know what to do, but our eyes are on you. And that's exactly what Nehemiah did in his times of danger, discouragement and distraction. So please, join us in prayer in fixing our eyes on him. And be encouraged. God knew what he was doing in Nehemiah's day, despite the difficulties. And God knows what he's doing today. And make no mistake, he is building his kingdom.